12 things that a smart person never says. Let me tell you a story that might change the way you see the world. In a small town, there lived a wise old man, known for his great wisdom and peaceful life. He spent his days helping those who sought his advice. One day, a talkative young man, who loved sharing his opinions with everyone, came to see him. Despite talking so much, the young man felt an emptiness that words couldn't fill. The wise man observed him and gave him a challenge: spend 7 days in silence. In return, he would teach him something valuable each morning. The 7 lessons from the wise man. Keep secrets. If someone trusts you with something, respect that trust. Sharing others' secrets destroys relationships. Don't reveal your plans too soon. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. Let your actions speak for themselves. Don't complain all the time. Complaining doesn't solve problems. Instead, focus on finding solutions. Don't brag about your good deeds. True kindness doesn't need applause. Avoid speaking badly about others. Criticizing only fuels resentment. Try to understand instead. Don't spread your fears. Talking too much about what scares you can give others power over your worries. Don't flaunt your wealth. Your worth isn't in what you own, but in who you are. At the end of the 7 days, the young man realized that silence had brought him clarity and peace. He thanked the wise man and left with a new perspective on life. Now that we've learned these 7 valuable lessons, let's talk about 12 things that smart people avoid saying. 1. Gossip. Imagine you're having coffee and hear, "Did you see what happened to Julia?" The curiosity kicks in, but before you respond, ask yourself, do I really need to know this? Gossip may seem harmless, but it can cause serious problems. Tip: when someone starts gossiping, change the subject to something positive. You'll notice how it improves your relationships. 2. Speaking without thinking. Have you ever said something and regretted it later? Smart people know that silence is often more powerful than words spoken in haste. Before speaking, use the think method. True: is what I'm about to say true? Helpful: will it add value? Important: is it really necessary to say this now? Necessary: am I sharing this for a good reason? Kind: am I being respectful? If your statement doesn't meet at least 3 of these criteria, maybe it's better left unsaid. 3. Lying. Lies may seem like an easy shortcut, but they destroy trust and credibility. The truth, even when uncomfortable, is always more valuable. 4. Complaining without taking action. Constantly complaining without looking for solutions only leads to frustration. If something bothers you, ask yourself, what can I do to change this? 5. Showing off all the time. There's nothing wrong with sharing your achievements, but constantly trying to impress others can push people away. 6. Comparing yourself to others. Everyone has their own pace. Focus on your progress, not someone else's life. 7. Speaking without knowing the facts. Before giving your opinion, make sure you truly understand the topic. Speaking without knowledge can make you seem uninformed. 8. Downplaying your own achievements. Saying, "Oh, it was nothing," when you've done something great might sound humble, but it can also minimize your efforts. Recognize your worth. 9. Being negative all the time. Being realistic is one thing, but constantly seeing only the negative side can push away opportunities and people. 10. Judging without knowing the full story. No one knows everything about someone else's life. Before criticizing, try to understand. 11. Always needing to be right. You don't have to win every argument. Being flexible and willing to listen is a true sign of intelligence. 12. Speaking when angry. Anger is temporary, but words spoken in the heat of the moment can leave lasting damage. Take a deep breath before reacting. Adopting these habits doesn't mean you can't express yourself. It means you'll choose your words with more awareness and wisdom. Try applying these tips for a week and see how your life and relationships improve. Think before you speak. Your words have power. You can inspire someone or leave a negative mark that will never be forgotten. Before saying something in the heat of the moment, pause, take a deep breath, and count to 5. This can prevent many regrets. Use your emotional intelligence, filter what you say, and think about the consequences. Your relationships, career, and peace of mind will appreciate it. Be careful with lies. Have you noticed that some people always seem to be involved in problems? Often, this happens because they lie too much. Lying may seem harmless, but think of each lie as a card in a house of cards. The more you lie, the more unstable the structure becomes. One day, just a slight breeze and everything collapses. Of course, everyone has told a little white lie at some point. But there's a difference between an occasional lie and making it a habit. It's like using cheap perfume to cover up a bad smell. It might work for a while, but sooner or later, the truth will come out. Why do we lie? Often, it's out of fear, to avoid conflict, or because it seems easier than facing reality. But those who are wise know that honesty, even when uncomfortable, always brings better results in the long run. Think of trust like a bank account. Each time you're honest, you make a deposit. Each lie is a withdrawal. If you lie too much, you're in the red and no one will trust you anymore. That doesn't mean you need to be brutally honest all the time. The secret is finding a balance between truth and kindness. Remember, a lie may seem like a shortcut, but in the end, it only delays your life. Money, a private matter. Imagine your bank account is like a safe full of treasures. Would you give the code to anyone? Of course not. Warren Buffett, one of the smartest investors in the world, said, "Never tell anyone how much you earn. It's rude and can be costly." And he's right. When you talk too much about money, you can spark envy, create unnecessary competition, and even attract scammers. A study from the University of Chicago showed that those who keep their finances private tend to have healthier relationships and fewer conflicts. This doesn't mean you can never talk about money. If necessary, only share it with trusted individuals, such as your partner or financial advisor. If someone insists on knowing how much you earn, a light-hearted response can help, like, "Don't worry, I won't need a loan this month." Ultimately, keeping your financial life private shows intelligence and elegance. Provocations. Don't fall for them. Have you ever had someone try to provoke you, leaving you with the urge to respond immediately? Before falling into this trap, think of provocations as annoying ads during your favorite show. What do? Change the channel. Our brain reacts to provocations as if they were real threats, activating our defense instincts. But smart people know that behind a provocation, there is usually insecurity, boredom, or even jealousy. Avoiding provocations isn't weakness. On the contrary, it takes great strength. It's like resisting the last slice of pizza when you're on a diet. Tough in the moment, but worthwhile later. If someone tries to provoke you, act like a wall. Let the words bounce off and fall to the ground. Another strategy is using humor as a shield. A clever response can disarm the provocateur and end the conversation. The most important thing: stay calm, smile, and move on. 30 seconds of self-control can prevent arguments and resentment that could last years. Anger. Silence the fire. The best response to anger is silence. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest thinkers in history, said this, and he was right. Anger is like a wildfire in a forest. If you let it burn unchecked, it destroys everything in its path: relationships, opportunities, and your peace of mind. But if you control it, you can use that energy positively, turning it into learning and growth. So, the next time you feel angry, take a deep breath, stay silent for a moment, and think before acting. Your emotional intelligence can save you from many problems. Are you sharing too much? Have you ever stopped to think if it's worth sharing every detail of your life on social media? Imagine your life as a house. Social media are the windows to that house. Would you let anyone peek inside? Probably not, right? Posting about your life can be fun, but it's important to find a balance. Here are some simple tips to protect yourself. Strong passwords. Know 123,456. Use tough combinations to prevent hacking. Be careful with location. Tagging your real-time location can be risky. Online friends. Do you really know everyone on your list? Protecting yourself doesn't mean hiding, but being smart. Be careful with provocations. You know when someone provokes you and you feel like responding right away. Take it easy. Provocations are like annoying ads during your favorite show. What do? Ignore and change the channel. People who provoke are usually trying to cover their own insecurities. If someone ridicules you, try responding with humor and confidence. Example: someone, "Wow, what a strange outfit." You, "Thanks, I love trying new styles." This way, you disarm the person and show confidence. Emotional intelligence is a superpower. Empty promises. Better a no than a false yes. Have you ever committed to something and then realized you couldn't follow through? It's like giving a bounce check. It looks good at the moment, but later it can cause problems. Tips to avoid this. Only promise what you can deliver. Learn to say no without guilt. Be clear and realistic. When you keep your promises, your word is worth gold. Respect for beliefs and religions. The world is a big garden full of different flowers. Each flower represents a belief, and they all have their value. You don't have to agree with everything, but respecting others' space is key. What matters is not what each person believes, but how we treat others. Secrets aren't currency. When someone shares a secret with you, it means they trust you. Spreading that information can destroy that trust forever. Think of trust as a house made of bricks. Each secret you break is a brick that falls. In the end, the house collapses. Be the person others know they can trust. That's worth more than any gossip. Complaining doesn't solve anything. You know that cup of tea with leaves floating around. If you stir it constantly, you never get to drink it peacefully. But if you let the leaves settle, the tea becomes nice. The same happens with your mind. If all you do is complain and don't look for solutions, your life remains agitated and restless. Try this. For a week, note every time you complain. Then, check how many of those complaints actually helped solve something. You might be surprised. The secret to a lighter life is in small attitude changes. Thanks for following this reflection. So, which of these tips will you put into practice first?